So a 71 1302 Beetle, which they did, I can't remember which the 1302, they did a Beetle and a Super Beetle. The Super Beetle had what's called a McPherson strut on the front suspension. So you had a coil spring that goes all the way up to here. But this is still on the torsion bar suspension. But it's a later one because it's got ball joints and not kingpins. So they're the right shock absorbers. Changed those yesterday because it needed new front shocks. This one was weeping. But one was about 3 inches shorter than the other one. So when I took the top off, it went bang and scared the life out of me. So yeah, so change the front shocks that needed doing. It needs oil change. Obviously try and sort out the oil leak, you can see by the puddle on the floor. But the rear axle oil seals have gone, hence all your oil on there, and these all full of oil. So you have to change the rear shoes anyway because they're just worn out now. Yeah. Clean up all the inside of the drums, obviously readjust all the brakes when it goes back together, but we've got to change that oil seal in there. So whip it apart and have a look. You get that off of there. You get some brake shoes that have what they call a leading shoe, so you'll have a shorter lining or a longer lining one way round or the other, yeah? Okay. But these are just a standard length all the way round, so we haven't got to worry about anything there. Right, so you've got your new shoes. Obviously that's your top arm that does the handbrake cable actuation. So that one, we've got to change this over because they don't come with them on the new shoes. All it is a little horseshoe clip. Okay, so that's all it is, just a little horseshoe clip. Okay, so we knew that was like that. That's our pivot point there. And he goes back in there. A little bit of crud in there, but that's alright. Copper slip is your friend. Get your horseshoe clip started there. Need 3 hands. Okay. These on, and you want to get a pair of grips and just close your horseshoe grip round, yeah? And just pull him in like that, yeah? It can't come off. Make sure you're nice and free. So that's that. That one goes in there like that. And you've got to stretch that spring into there. Right, that's it for that lot for the moment. Bottom spring we've got over there, so they're redundant, they're dead. Now we've got to change the rear oil seals. So that's your kit, comes as a kit, never done one, so we'll whip it out and have a look and see what's what. Right, obviously 4 bolts, they're captive, so you haven't got to worry about the nuts on the back. Ugh. Right, well here's your oil seal. That's your O-ring. Puddle of oil on the floor. So we're going to have to take the back plate out. Which is a pain in the bum, but you can't odds it. It's got to be done properly, otherwise it will just still leak oil behind that, you know. Right, so we've got a brake flexi there, yeah. So what you want to do, save losing all of your fluid, is just put a pair of grips, yeah, on the flexi, and it just stops all of the brake fluid coming out. You still get some come out of it, but when you go to bleed them back, it's all nice and easy to do. Okay, that'll stop that. might have to take the bleed nipple out first. Right, we should be able to get away with that anyway. We can wiggle everything around it. As long as it's clean, you shouldn't really need any goo around it, so. Yeah, there was never a gasket on there, so whoever's done it hasn't put an internal gasket on it. So that was always going to leak. Right, that's clean enough to put the gasket back in a minute. So what have we got here? So we've got one oil seal. You've got your washer there, which is in the kit. Right, it's got two gaskets. Obviously one behind the back plate, one on there. New oil seal. New washer. One O-ring that must go in there, like that, when it goes together. And there's one there. New split pin for the back hub nut. Drive shafts and rear wheel shafts. Get the old oil seal out. Washer out. So it's got a bypass hole in that. So what that should do is if the oil seal leaks through, yeah, it directs the oil to the outside of the brake drum.
Yeah.
So the oil from the transaxle will leak to the outside of the car, not inside to your brakes. So I've blown that through. Make sure I blow any more crap out of it. Got it. Let's get a direct wallop on that. If you get something that's exactly the right size, you can put it in the hydraulic press and just push it in.
Yeah.
But it's got to be exactly the right size. Something I've got to get actually, a set of pushers. But using the old seal, because it's metal on the edge, you just bash it in. Right, so let's get our two gaskets. Let's wiggle him through there. Right, well that doesn't fit that. It didn't show a gasket in any of the drawings either, so let's get him back out. Right, they're the same size.
Maybe that's why there wasn't one in there in the first place.
Yeah. Don't know why you'd have two, maybe it's just to shim it out for end flow.
Does it show one in the manual at all?
No, it doesn't show any gaskets in the manual. But in theory, oil coming from there shouldn't get past your O-ring anyway. So right, so that's your O-ring. A gasket. Oh. Yeah, when you think about it, that O-ring shouldn't let any oil pass back through the other way. That's what it's for, so. All feels good. I'll give it a clean down. By the time it all goes back together, you can see whether it's leaking or not. Right, get a little screwdriver. Right, so you've got two holes in the back plates. You just put that in. Leave those. done all the way in. That's done all the way in. Okay, so that one. That one will go up and the other side will be down. Right, so first thing to do is hang your brake cable on. And he goes there. That goes there. Get that the right way up. He goes on there. Right, so that's all in the right place. Look him in there. Okay, that'll hold him in. We've got to get a bottom spring in now. That's your bottom spring in place. Hook that in there, hook that in there. Adjusters are off, handbrake cable's clear and everything. So all we do, any sort of solvent, just give it a good squirt and a wipe out. I mean, these drums are a bit worn, but it shouldn't make any difference once they're adjusted up. Yeah, just get the grease off of it, and that's it. Pop the drum back on. Okay. Give that a little nip of the hand for a moment. Got to get our brake line back on, and then we've got to adjust the brakes up. A nice pinch up. And you've got your two holes in the back, like we said. Find the teeth. That's starting to lock up, and then you want to back her off. That's okay, and then we've got to do the front one. Right, that's okay. Right, that's that one adjusted up. Same again the other side.
Oh dear.
Which is boring, but